GTN Radio. Here is the crazy.
Now the news. I'm Shane Bigham. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is calling for a speedy green transformation around the Trans-Himalayan region. He made the remarks at the third China-Xizang Trans-Himalaya Forum for International Cooperation. He urged efforts to build a green development zone and promote the connectivity in the region. At sidebar meetings, Wang met with leaders from Pakistan, Mongolia, Afghanistan, and Nepal, discussing ways to strengthen cooperation on ecological protection and economic development. Japan started the second release of nuclear-contaminated wastewater from the crippled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant into the Pacific Ocean. The Tokyo Electric Power Company says it plans to carry out the release over 17 days to discharge 7,800 tons of the radioactive wastewater, roughly the same amount as the first discharge, which ended on September 11th. A major healthcare strike is taking place in the United States. Over 75,000 workers have walked off the job in 5 states and Washington, D.C., demanding higher wages. Caroline Malone has more.
A group of medical workers, pharmacists and optometrists, eye doctors, took part in a protest in Virginia as part of a much larger group protesting against Kaiser Health Company, who they say has to give them higher wages and needs to hire more staff in order to improve their conditions. The unions that are representing these workers say they've been part of negotiations for 6 months, and yet in that time they haven't seen the types of conditions that they need to see for their staff members.
We were there during COVID. Frontline healthcare workers were there for our patients, for our communities. We were touted as healthcare heroes. And now when we're at bargaining, all we are told is we're too expensive.
And these workers say a lot of their colleagues have left since then and they haven't seen an increase in wages. So that's why they've decided to come out to the streets across different states of the United States and make sure that the companies start to appreciate them in the way that they feel like they should be.
The White House has waived 26 federal laws to allow border wall construction in Starr County, Texas, in order to prevent unlawful entries into the United States. There were 260,000 encounters at the southern U.S. border in September, possibly the highest monthly total on record. The waivers avoid time-consuming reviews and lawsuits challenging violation of environmental laws, making way for using funds from a congressional appropriation to build up the wall. The border wall project was a signature promise of former President Donald Trump in his 2016 campaign and is being fiercely criticized by the Democrats. President Joe Biden halted the construction during his first week in the White House in January 2021. France says it'll begin withdrawing troops from Niger this week. The announcement came after growing tensions with the military junta that took power in July. President Emmanuel Macron said last month he refused to be held hostage and was ending military cooperation with the West African country. Macron's pulled the French ambassador and other diplomatic staff from Niger. Australia estimates pre-Christmas spending to remain nearly the same as last year's results. This comes as local shoppers have a tighter rein on their budgets due to the cost of living crisis. Forecasts indicate a total of 67 billion Australian dollars to be spent during the November to December 24th Christmas trading period, up 0.1% from last year's level. Spending on food is projected to account for the lion's share, making up 27 billion Australian dollars and increasing by 2.4% compared to last year. Experts say a softening of spending on discretionary goods is expected given the current economic conditions and the persistent cost of living crunch. He Jie claimed China's first men's marathon title at the Asian Games, clocking in at 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 2 seconds. That's around half a minute faster than runner-up Han Il-rung from North Korea. In the women's race, China's Zheng Deshun took the silver with nearly 2 hours and 28 minutes. The gold medal went to Eunice Chumba of Bahrain. And 6 countries across 3 continents will co-host the World Cup 2030 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the event. The FIFA Council agreed on Wednesday that Spain, Portugal, and Morocco will jointly serve as hosts of the tournament, while Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina will each stage an opening match. The decision is poised to receive official ratification at the FIFA Congress next year. The first World Cup took place in Uruguay in 1930, and the host team won. And that's the news. I'm Shane Bigham.